time in junior year that realized, I could really make an impact for my team, really make a lot of plays. And that's when the maturity and the most development really
I'm
happens.
not in your way.
Urban always said like the first 2 years are on the player, and then first 2 years are on the coaches. The third year is the player's responsibility
Yeah,
to take it
I
over.
feel that. Yeah, that's accurate.
Jeff, just what's it like for you to, be here and kind of be in this position where you're able to be a team leader?
I mean, it's something I take great honor in. It's a great responsibility, that the players on the team, they look to me as a guy that they can rely on, and a guy that's going to be honest with them 100% of the time, and they're going to be somebody who they can count on in tough situations.
What are the things that you've tried to do to be a leader and make sure this team is where it needs to be come September?
Um, that's one thing actually I try not to change. I'm just trying to be myself, and players I feel like have gravitated towards that. One thing that I have had to work on though is being more vocal. I'm more of a lead by example type of guy, and the more comfortable I've gotten in the program, the more comfortable I got in the locker room, the more vocal I've been able to be.
Zach, before I ask you, can you ask your question? Can you catch this?
Yeah, I'll do my best. Oh yeah.
My guy.
I was a receiver in high school.
You got
Still got hands. I got glue where my hands should be.
Appreciate that. You talked about all off season how something just kind of clicked for you, this being your third year, how you want to approach things, how you want to leave a legacy here. Is it fair to ask what exactly clicked?
It's not really something tangible, something I can really put a finger on. Just one day was like, after the season, I was like, this is your third year, potentially you could leave after this year, why don't you give everything to the program? That's what Coach Mick always says. If you buy in 100%, the program will do good things for you. And so I'm like, why not just give it a try, buy in 100%? And so far it's been nothing but blessings.
I'm not comparing you to Chase Young, so don't take it personally.
Yeah.
You were here during his third year and got to see how he just approached things.
Yeah.
How much of that was maybe questionable on you, and how as you now in your third year, 5-star, all that. Not comparing, but just saying how much of that was questionable.
I definitely learned a lot from Chase, whereas it's technique or how to carry yourself or how to, break down film and how to just be a pro about it, at the college level.
Zach, you know a lot about being a 5-star recruit, coming in with high expectations, playing as a true freshman. What kind of advice are you giving Jack Sawyer and JTT about what to expect this year?
I haven't really given them much advice yet. I'll let them come to me. I don't want to be the guy that just overbearing and act like I know everything when I self-admittedly I don't know all the answers. But if they have questions, they know that my phone's always open, my door is always open. They can just reach out to me with any kind of questions that they have.
How is it kind of transitioning from a young guy to an older guy?
It's unique because I can see a lot of myself and how I used to act and a lot of the freshmen. I can see that they don't know what's going on. They don't know what to expect. They don't know how to carry themselves. They don't know how to push themselves. And I went through that, and I can tell them, like, all right, like, I get it. Like, the workouts are hard. You're tired. You can't breathe. You're sore. This is the 5th week of team run or whatever. You don't want to do it anymore, but just keep pushing through. Eventually, like, you'll break through that wall, and it's going to get easier. It's going to get better for you.
Zach, I just wanted to ask you, how do you feel about vaccines, and how does the team feel about the vaccination situation? I heard Coach Day say the majority is vaccinated. Do you care to share if you have, or why you think that's important to protect the health of the team?
I think it's each guy's personal decision, whatever they feel safe doing, whatever they should do.
What's it like being JT and Jack? Because you were that, especially maybe closer with JT as you were.
I'm sorry, I can't.
What's it like being? You were like JT. You were a little quieter with your recruitment, even though everybody cared where the heck you were going. And now you come here with all these expectations. What's it like to be in their shoes? Because that was you 2 years ago.
I mean, yeah, definitely a lot of pressure from the outside. Not so much in the program, but you see it on Twitter. You see that you're supposed to do this, that, and the third, and that can really, you can really get caught up in thinking about what you're supposed to do as opposed to just living in the moment and trying to get better every single day. And that's something that if I see starting to happen with those guys, I'll definitely reach out and be like, hey, like, just focus on you, man. Outside, they're always going to talk. Just don't even gotta worry about that.
How did you handle that? When did you start to see yourself maybe get caught up a little bit with what Twitter was saying?
I mean, really, once the game started, it's like, oh, where's Zach Harrison? He's supposed to be doing this, that, and the third. And I'm like, well, I'm just trying to get better every day. It's a process, and once I've accepted that it's a process, and I'm freshmen don't come in perfect. Freshmen don't come in as NFL players. That's the point of being developed by Ohio State, and that's something that I had to realize, and I had to. Coach Jay, when we sat down and had a meeting, he talked to me about it for a while. He's like, Zach, you're in a great spot. Just keep getting better every day and let the chips fall. Like when they fall, don't worry about just chasing these numbers and chasing this down the third. Just go play and get better every day.
Coach Tom Allen from Indiana got up there today and said that Ohio State is the gold standard that everybody's chasing every day. What's it like to be the hunted?
It's something that we embrace. We know that every time we step on the field, we're going to get every team's best. They're going to go 100%. That week's been circled on their calendar the whole year. And that's something that we train for. Coach Day doesn't keep it a secret. He says that in team meetings almost every week. Like, we got to bring our best every Saturday, or that's how upsets happen. So, and Coach Mick as well. We train hard. That's our biggest asset is Coach Mick in our training, where he knows like what it takes to be the best and to keep everybody else, I don't want to say at bay, but just not beating us. Simple as that.
Zach, playing for Larry Johnson, I've heard Ohio State defensive linemen talk about this in the past, where he's not going to cuss at you, he's not going to yell at you, but the worst thing that can happen is have Coach Johnson be disappointed in you.
Yeah.
Is that true? Can you speak on that a little bit?
Yeah, it's not, like I said, it's not, sometimes you wish him just to cuss you out, but it's like when you mess up, it's like, dang, coach, like my bad, like, I'm going to do better next time. It's almost like when your parents is mad at you, it's like, I'm sorry, like, and then also, you just go that much harder for him because he has that respect for you. He's not going to cut you out. He's not going to get in your face and yell at you. So you're like, all right, I know I can make mistakes full speed and not have to worry about getting berated in front of the whole unit or the whole team about it.
How much does the depth of defensive line last year coming back help a younger linebacker core in the secondary that had struggles last year?
I feel like, the pass rush and the coverage tie together every single play on defense. So the quicker we get to the quarterback, the less they have to cover, and the longer they cover, the more time we have. And I feel like once we both are playing at a high level, which I feel like we will this year, it'll be something scary to see.
Off that, what kind of impact do you think Jack and JT will both have as true freshmen?
We'll have to see how it goes. Like I said, the D line room is deep, but they're definitely going to play. They're definitely going to get snaps this year. We're just going to see how much.
Zach.
You guys slayed that drag. Is this offseason been about 52-24? Is it all about them, or is it, how did you guys now get to that?
I mean, of course we didn't end the season as we wanted to, and that had a chip on our shoulder, but it hasn't been like a obsessive focus on Alabama. We're just worried about how to get better as the Buckeyes every single day. Like, how do we improve ourselves? And once I feel like we play our best ball, nobody in the country can beat us. I wouldn't say obsessive, but we definitely knew that we wanted to beat Clemson. No, we didn't even have locker codes.
What do you think are the biggest ways in which you have improved as a player to get to where you are now versus when you were a freshman?
It's day and night from when I was a freshman. I feel like I sometimes go back and watch freshman year film, and I'm like, I don't even recognize that guy. I've gotten bigger, stronger, faster. My technique's gotten better. One thing I've focused on is I'm a long guy. I've got long limbs, and flexibility has always been a struggle for me. And that's something that I look to attack in the training room, getting with the training staff, and getting in their mobility programs and their flexibility programs. And that's something that I've definitely improved on.
Hey, Zach, you're a defensive lineman, Ohio State University tradition. I mean, what's it like for you to have all these guys come before you? You know there's going to be others after you, but especially here to represent your university, especially the D-line.
Yeah, you just got to carry the torch, Don't want to have any fall off. There's great guys before you, and there'll be great guys after you. So it's on us and this group of freshmen, continue that legacy of being great.
You're from Ohio. I mean, obviously has to be really special with your university and representing everybody, a hometown guy, fans close to you, family. What's it like to have, family in the stands watching you?
I love it. Before every game, I'm running the tunnel, we do our little pregame deal, and I look up, try to find my mom, my dad, and my sister in the stands, and they sit in the same spot every game. So knowing that they're there and they're supporting me, and having those guys in the stands really means a lot.
Hey,
Zach?
The depth at defensive end. I mean, how much of an advantage is it for you guys to know that you have 5-6 guys that can go up there and play every game?
Yeah, it's great. And then Coach J likes to rotate, and that's something that we have is an advantage for us. So we could go out there and play 60-something plays like some schools do, but we're not playing those at full speed. Whereas at Ohio State, we might get like 40 plays a game, but they're full speed. You can go full speed knowing if I get tired, the guy behind me can come in and have just as much production, be just as good as I am. There's no fall off. I don't have to save myself because I'm the only guy who can do it or he's the only guy who can do it. We're all capable of going and impacting the game.
He's that big smile. Big smile.
Yeah, I'd say we're competitive. If I'm at practice and I see Tyreek getting 3 sacks that day, I'm like, all right, now I gotta step up my game. But at the same time, it's all love. Like, those are really my brothers, and we're a real family in the D-line. And they're coaching me up just as much as Coach Jay. Like, they'll be on the sideline watching my few plays, and I'll come off and look at Zach like, these are the things you gotta do better. Like, I saw this mistake or this, that, and the third. It's the same other way around. Like, I'm watching their film, I'm watching their reps, trying to get them better. It's just a healthy competitive relationship that we all have.
Zach, college football.
I'm definitely excited. Oh wait, never mind. We're at the big house, aren't we? Oh yeah, a little bit. I'm definitely missed out on that because I've never been to one. As a recruit, I didn't go to any, and my freshman year was away. So yeah, I haven't had the chance to play at home. Team North. Yeah, I definitely have some stuff in the works. That's gonna, I'm getting with some guys that I'm working with, and we're gonna hopefully get some of that stuff out soon. But I'm trying to take it slow. I'm not trying to jump into everything and do this, that, and third, and eventually end up making a mistake. You gotta move carefully when something this serious has money, and you gotta pay taxes on it and things like that. So you gotta just be careful the way you move. A little bit, because I'm not a big me guy. I'm not a big self-promoter, but having to learn to do that and learn how to do that while still being myself is a challenge that I'm still, trying to figure out. It wasn't really weird for me because I wasn't a huge Ohio State fan in high school. My parents didn't grow up Ohio State fans, so for me it was all, blank canvases. I just had to pick the best school for me. They're pretty close.
We haven't talked to you since college ball playoff is decided to move forward. Standing, I'm curious, what's your perspective as a player on what this means in college ball playoff?
I haven't really thought too much about the college football expanding, but however many games we have to play to win a national championship, I'm down for it. Whatever they say is whatever we're going to play, and hopefully we're ever going to win.
Do you think that would be like? What do you think of the workload of playing like potentially 3-4 playoff games? Like you played the 2 last year. What would it be like to play another week and then like potentially another week?
It's definitely going to take a toll on your body, but that's football. Football's a tough sport, and oftentimes the most healthy team at the end of the season is going to win most games. So that's just, I wouldn't say that's a knock against the expanded playoff. That's just something that needs to be factored in the decision makers.
Zach, we talked to the Michigan players yesterday, and a lot of them talked about a renewed sense of urgency against Ohio State. I just wonder how surprising it is to hear that Jim Harbaugh's 7th year now. There's like another level, or they're doing some things differently just now.
I mean, we're just worried about our side. We're worried about getting better every day and respecting the rivalry by working hard towards beating them every single year. I'm not.
And then also heard throughout the years that Ohio State seems to take it more seriously than Michigan. I just wonder kind of where you fall on that, and if you hear that noise, and what you think about that.
I'm not at the team of North, so I don't know. I wouldn't know if you never there.
Zach, I got a real hard-hitting question for you. Do you like the nickname Zach Harrison?
I mean, yeah, that's pretty cool. But you got to make your mind up. Is it Zach Harrison or Zach Sawyer? I mean, I've heard both. So.
You came first. We were calling you that.
All right. So yeah, I'll claim that one.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. Good.
Yeah,
Want to make sure you like it.
Yeah.
impressed you, surprised you, what he did kind of make himself pretty quickly?
Yeah, Jack's a hard worker, and that's something that I can respect. He's not one of those guys where you have to motivate every single play and every single practice. You know, he's going to go hard, and he definitely had moments where he struggled, as all freshmen do, but he definitely had moments where he shined, and I was like, all right, he belongs at Ohio State. There's a reason why he's here. He's going to be a special player someday here.
But you talked about finding a role. I mean, that doesn't always happen for freshmen.
Yeah.
It did, but it wasn't like every snap.
Mm-hmm.
You have veteran how much longer will be in that?
Honestly, that's a question for Coach Jay. I don't control who goes in the game or not.
What is it that you went through that a freshman, everybody else knows that you have to learn part of the Russian to get there? What's your one?
I mean, Coach Jay is going to put on whoever wins the best one-on-one, the best pass rushers in that little rushman package we have. The best 4 pass rushers got to be on the field. So if you're one of those 4, then he's going to play you.
You're the 4th.
That's not up to me. You got to ask Coach Jay. Like I said, he's the one who got the depth chart. I just go out there and play ball.
What are some of the other young guys that have impressed you this spring and summer?
You know, all the D linemen really. One of the guys who stands out is Tyleek Williams. He's a big dude, but he's quick. He's got like elite athleticism and he's strong. He doesn't know what he's doing yet, to be honest with you. He's still really raw, but once he figures it out, like he's gonna be a name that everybody in the country knows. He's gonna be a problem. It's different for everybody. Some like the Bosa's, like Nick came in and he was already, Nick Bosa pretty much, and some guys it takes 5 years to figure it out. It's different for everybody.
How does it help you prepare for the season when you're going up against Bayer Munster?
I mean, I know I'm going against 2 of the best tackles in the country every day. I just know that I'm getting better every day. I have to bring my A game every single day, and that's how it's going to be in games. I have to, work my technique. There's not going to be any easy reps because they're competitive just like I am. They don't want to lose any reps, and the relationship we have, we're all pretty good friends. So I know our practice we'll get to chirping and just having fun with it, and that's how all 3 of us are just improving, going to each other every single day.
Zach, last year COVID kind of made no fans allowed in the stadium. What was that like for you guys not playing in front of anybody in Ohio Stadium, which the capacity is well over 100,000? What was that like?
Yeah, it was definitely different. I had an interview earlier and I told him it's you don't really appreciate what you have until it's gone. I remember my freshman year, we'd come into the stadium and you'd look up in the stands and there's like a section that's not full or like a few empty spots here, and you'd be like, oh man, what's going on? Why aren't there fans here? And then COVID hits and we're playing against seats. We're playing against cardboard. We're playing with cardboard cutouts in the stands, and it was a unique challenge in its own, having to bring your own energy. So coming this next year when fans are going to be here, I'm so excited to see all the red in the stadium and the electricity that they bring and the energy that they bring and how they help us and they feed into our play on the field.
You have no linebackers coming back. You lost a great quarterback. The running back is kind of up in question mark. Why should somebody be a buyer of Ohio State?
Watch somebody be like, what do you mean?
Why should somebody be excited about Ohio State with so many questions? Last year was national question.
I mean, I don't really have any questions. I feel confident with everybody we have in the locker room. I feel like we have all the pieces to go make another run back to the national championship.
What's it like after a routine?
It's great. The COVID year was a little weird and wonky, but getting back to some sense of normalcy is nice. Probably some food. I like to eat. Not sure specifically, but just some food. Maybe some free meals. I like a lot of foods, man. I like Philly cheesesteaks. I like buffalo chicken wraps. I like pizza. I like mac and cheese. Somewhere with all those foods.
What were the biggest things that Coach Jay thought you could improve upon from last year to this year?
Probably the top of my rushes. Making sure I can really flatten the edge and get to the quarterback. That's probably the biggest thing that he told me to work on, which comes hand in hand with flexibility, which I've been working on the most.
How did you assess your own performance last season? Like, did it live up to your own expectations, or what do you think you could have done more?
I definitely feel like I could have done more, but I feel like towards the end of the season, I was really catching my stride. I was playing my best ball the last 3 or 4 games of the season.
Zach, what's this offseason been like for you with all the attention on other guys around the country as far as from the national perspective? On the team perspective, you've got Jack, now JT coming in, and they get a lot of the attention from people like us. What's it like for you and Tyreek? You guys just kind of seem to be flying a little under the radar right now. How does that feel?
Personally, I kind of like it. Like I've never been the biggest fan of, no offense, like reporters and interviewers and all that stuff. I've never been the biggest
We don't like
fan.
ourselves either.
No, I mean, it's never been a big fan of questions. So like me and Tyreek and all the other guys in the D line just flying under the radar and just getting to work with our heads down, not have to worry about distractions and supposed to be this, supposed to be that. Just getting grinding and getting better every day, and hopefully we're going to surprise some guys come the season.
What's been different about Tyreek this offseason that you've seen from him? Because it seemed like he was ready for a breakout. It seemed he got hurt, ready for a breakout last year. COVID season. What's been different about him this year?
Yeah, he's got the same mentality. He's hungry. That's as hungry as I've ever seen Tyreek. He just can't wait to get to camp and start playing ball, and he's attacked everything. He's definitely taken more of a leadership role too. He's become more vocal. He's not afraid to call guys out if they're slacking or they're making mistakes, and that's something that I appreciate for Tyreek.
How much more settled in are you right now than you were in year 1 and 2?
Sorry?
How much more settled in are you right now than you were in year 1 and 2?
I feel really comfortable where I'm at. Like I feel like I've been in the program 2 years. I know my way around. I feel like I know what to expect, what's expected of me, and I feel like that's a way I can be comfortable. Just go out there. Now I can just play. I don't have to worry about expectations. I'm more comfortable with myself. Like I know, and if I go out there and play to the best of my ability, I'm gonna make a lot of plays.
Year 1 is like you were with Chase, and you're expecting to be next. Year 2, same thing. Do you feel like a little bit of a weight's been lifted off your shoulders a little bit? Now you can just go out and play.
Yeah, just more relaxed and more at ease, just ready to go, just play ball.
Is that gonna help you?
Zach, what do you expect out of Minnesota in the opener?
Minnesota's a great team. They're very well coached, and I'm excited to get to compete against them.
Their running back Mo Ibrahim. What's your impressions of him?
I haven't really watched that much tape on him so far, so you have to get back to me a little later on that one.
Zach, last year we heard a lot about Clemson, that game as a motivating factor for you guys. There hasn't been a ton of talk about the Alabama game. Thayer said that that's in the back of your minds and stuff like that, but you haven't put it out there as much maybe as a program. Why is that, and what are you guys using to be ready for this season?
I mean, a lot of guys came back. I feel like a lot of our team is guys who have a bunch of experience, and that's something that, like I said, it's in the back of our heads, so we know, like, all right, whatever we did last year, we have to do that much more this year to get to where we want to be, and that's something that's a motivating factor for us.
I mean, do you guys need a game like that to focus on? Or is it something you guys can do internally to be ready? I mean, 4 straight Big Ten titles, it seems like at some point there could be some complacency setting in, but it doesn't seem you guys are that way.
Coaches don't allow that. If the second week of complacent, we get a coach give us a super hard workout or we get a super hard practice, there's never any complacency.
And do you have to teach kind of the young guys, especially maybe guys that were highly recruited, come in and kind of expect that this is just going to happen? Do the older guys have to, prove you got to work for it?
No, that's all on the coaches, really. Because we've been through it already. We know as freshmen have it the hardest at Ohio State because they don't know. They come in as the best player, and then for the first time ever in their lives, they're one of the worst people on the team. And that's something that it's just growing pains of being a freshman. Everybody's gone through it, and that's something that we definitely help them along with it. We more help them out than anything, try to show them the way and be there when they feel like, dang, like nothing's going right. Like it happens. Like I was the same way. Like he was the same way. Everybody in the locker room had that feeling at some point. Like it's normal. You're gonna get through it. You're gonna overcome it. You're gonna be a great player here someday. It's just gonna take time.
Zach, there's kind of an idea out there among fans more than you guys, I think, that maybe you guys don't need to take the Michigan game as seriously now.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of talk yesterday about how they're now ramping up their focus on it.
Mm-hmm.
Is it harder to stay focused on that game for you guys?
No, we live it every day. So when you live something every day and it's always in your mind, you think about it every single day. There's no way you can be complacent with it because that's our first goal. Our number one goal in the season is to be the team of the North. Nothing else happens after the season unless they be the team of the North. So that's goal number one.
Zach, do you think Jim Harbaugh and the players say that they're emphasizing why would it drive you a little bit more? What makes you like?
I mean, like I said, we live it every day, so nothing changes on our side. We're gonna do the same things we've been doing. Respect the rivalry by playing as hard as we can on Saturday when we play them.
But does it surprise you, or did it surprise you to hear that maybe they didn't take that game with the same level of anticipation and attention that you guys did?
I mean, I don't really know. I'm not over there. I don't know how serious they take it. I just know about Ohio State and what we do in our locker room.
You talked about you weren't really an Ohio State fan or a Michigan fan. Did you root for anybody in college football growing up?
I just like watching good ball. So like the best games I would always try to tune into, like the college game day games, the primetime games. I was always trying to tune in just to watch competitive football.
But since you're from Columbus, you kind of knew what it was, what the rivalry was. Really?
I mean, growing up in Columbus, I obviously knew there was no love between Ohio State and Michigan. Like I've known that since first grade. Kids with Michigan lunchboxes in the hallway would get funny looks even at that level. So I definitely knew the intensity of the rivalry, but I didn't know how serious Ohio State took it until I got there. And now I know that you live it and you compete every day to respect it, like I said, by playing hard against them.
You tired of hearing Time for War yet?
Nah, that's the anthem.
What was on your lunchbox in first grade?
My first grade lunchbox? I used to buy my lunch, so I didn't have a lunchbox.
Zach, you know, when a team is as successful as yours has been in this conference over time, people, players and coaches will often say, you know, we're the big game for everybody. Is there any way that you can see that? Can you feel that when you go out and play Indiana or whomever? Is there any way that you can tell that game means a little more to them and you have to have your edge up as well?
That's how we come into every single game. We come into every game knowing that we're the target. We're circled on everybody's calendar. Everybody wants to come take us out, and we know that. So every game, we know that there's no room for coming in thinking this team is sweet or this team is bad. Like we have to respect every opponent because they have the utmost respect for us, and it's only fair to respect them just as much.
When you were being recruited, was being a part of something that successful important to you?
What do you mean, like?
It's already a great program. If I go there, one, they can make me better, and two, I can help keep it great. Is that?
Yeah, most definitely. I wanted to go to a good program where there's a bunch of competitors there, and they would force me to improve, and I'd get the best out of myself.
Zach, how big was it to get Thayer back? Not only just because he's a good player, but like the commitment he's shown to this team coming back to the first.
Yeah, Thayer's an example of the process. You know, Thayer came in and he wasn't a highly recruited guy, and now look at him, he's one of the best tackles in the country. That's testimony right there to what Ohio State can do for you. And on the field, he's a tough tackle to go against. I go against him every single day, so I would know better than anybody else. There's legit.
What makes him so good?
He's athletic. He's big, but he's athletic, and he's strong, and he's got really long arms, and that's something that helps as an O-lineman. If they be able to reach you before you can get to them, it's such an advantage.
Who wins in those battles?
We go like 51-49. I'm obviously 51.
Coaches talk, Coach Day, others talk to the Johnson. The difference looks is that true? Why is that? Where did that come from? It's just a matter of, okay, it's the third year, it's time.
Pretty much, it's just that it's my third year. You know, I gotta improve. I gotta, you know, and Coach Mick always says that if you give 100% to the program is gonna help you in ways you won't even know. So one day I literally was laying on my bed. I was like, you know what, Zach? First workout's tomorrow. I'm just gonna give everything I have to Ohio State this year. I'm gonna pour my heart out for the Buckeyes and see where it takes me. You know, I feel like I've improved mentally and as a leader, and hopefully I can carry that onto the field.
Certainly shown glimpses.
feel like, I have so much more to do?
I still don't feel like I've reached my mountaintop, my peak yet. I definitely feel like I've got improvements to make, and I'm trying to make those improvements every day as we speak.
How much standards so high, pressing, pulses, your school's doing that job.
Yeah. That kind of went away. It was there earlier, but the added pressure on myself, I realized I don't need to do that. Like, there's already enough on my plate. I just need to go out there, play ball, and have fun, and make plays. And if I do that, everything else will take care of itself.
Like I thought you guys mentioned this before, but how have you changed your body? How do you feel like you've changed your body?
I've gained a few pounds, and I feel like I've lost a little bit of body fat. I'm not sure the exact numbers, but I just feel like I'm bigger, stronger, faster than I was last year, and that's always a plus when you're playing D-line.
Were you already feeling that in the spring, and did you notice a difference in your play?
I definitely feel like my steps are more powerful. Like when I put my feet in the ground, I'm generating more off of that.
Everyone talked about that. How much did that work? How do you kind of approach that work? And where do you feel that now? How close do you reach?
I feel like I do have a lot of potential, and I feel like I'm growing into a great player, and that's a great thing. So if you're growing into a good player with a lot of potential, that can only take you higher up.
What have you seen from Jack Sawyer?
Flashes, a lot of flashes of him making plays and doing things just like, oh, all right, like, that's why he's at Ohio State. That's why he was recruited this highly, But like I said, he definitely has freshman moments where he struggles, but that's part of coming to Ohio State. That's part of growing up.
I know you haven't gotten a chance to practice because JT just got there, but a guy like that adding to that defensive line, along with Zach,
Yeah.
what does that add to your room? I know you guys rotate a lot, having another highly caliber guy.
Yeah, I've never seen JT play, but I'm excited to watch him play. He seems really athletic. He moves well in the weight room. He loves being pushed. Like he's my partner for most of the workouts, and I get to get after him, and he's one of those guys who's going to get after me right back, and I love that, the give and take, and that's how you build a relationship with somebody, and then on the field it just translates.
Potential? You already just from the weight room or whatever?
I mean, you can see as much as you can from the weight room.
When you talk about him moving well, like in what exercises does he move well, and like why is that so evident to you, JT?
Just like the drills we do, he looks smooth and fluid.
And I know you had a highly followed recruitment. Like, what would it have been like to take that all the way like he did to July and not make a decision until then?
I didn't even know you could take it to July. I probably would have too if I knew I could do that.
How closely were you guys following that? I mean, it was just so different than, like you said, every other recruit.
I don't really follow recruits. Like, as a recruit, I didn't even want to be a recruit. So once I was done being a recruit, I left that behind. It's in the past. Just the hunger, Tyree really, he's hungry this year. He wants to go after it. He wants to go make plays. He wants to be that guy. And I'm excited to watch him play and play alongside him. What do you mean? Yeah. I mean, his last game was his best game of his career, I think. Versus Clemson, he had, 2 sacks and a forced fumble. And so he's going to carry that the next season and just be a ball player for us.
Knowing how much that affected receiving guys missing, guys not being able to play, is that affecting from within the team, affecting how you guys are looking at vaccines? You guys talk about that and how it could be a competitive advantage to have as many guys vaccinated as possible?
I mean, my thought process is if you feel comfortable getting the vaccine, then get it. If you don't, then don't. That's just kind of how I've gone about it in the locker room, how we kind of approached it.
Zach, 3 or 4 years ago, could you have seen yourself signing up to volunteer to sit here and talk to the media for an hour?
No, not at all. I probably would have had a lot shorter answers.
What changed? I mean, what changed now? I mean, you didn't have to do this. Someone else could have come here and taken the spot. What's made you, I guess, maybe more comfortable?
I just wanted pictures of my suit, to be honest with you. I didn't lie to y'all. I just wanted to get pictures in this suit.
You guys open up with Minnesota team that's got kind of a loaded offensive line, or a veteran offensive line, returning offensive line. Is that something you've already taken notice of and start watching them on film? Just talking to them yesterday, I think they know that.
Yeah, we've watched a little bit of film in Minnesota, and they are great. They're good alignment. They're all big. They're all mature. They're all veteran guys, and it's going to present a unique challenge come the first game, and I'm excited for it.
You guys, teams get up to play Ohio State. Every team does. If this is a team that's getting you at home on kind of a weird midweek game, first time starting quarterback for you guys, do you understand that people may be looking at this and saying, like, that's the perfect time to try to play Ohio State and upset them?
Mm-hmm. I mean, we know that, though. We know going into the game it's going to be a hostile environment. Their fans are just as excited as our fans are going to be. They're a good team. Like I said, it's going to be a first-time start for one of the three quarterbacks we got. So it presents a challenge, but I feel like we're going to be ready for it. We know that going into camp. So our camp's got to be a real one. We got to get after it. We got to get game ready week one.
What does that help, knowing that you can't visit this at Minnesota and Oregon? We know we're going to have a better quarterback. We know we have to be really strong around them. And our defense has got a back seven to go on.
I mean, yeah, we just got to attack camp and make sure it's competitive, make sure we're getting after it, and make sure guys are getting better.
Your freshman year, that defense came into the year with a pretty big chip on its shoulder because of how things have gone the year before. Is there any of that for your defense now, kind of coming into this season?
Yeah, we all have a chip on our shoulder. We've been told we sucked the whole year, and nobody wants to hear that. So, we're this whole offseason we've been lifting hard, training hard. We've been talking to each other. We've been in the meeting rooms together. We're just ready to show everybody that Silver Bullets can play defense. We can play ball. All of us, all 11 of us, top to bottom.
Do you see sort of like a circular relationship between DBs and what you guys do up front, and what you guys do this coming season helps them, vice versa?
Yeah, we talk about it all the time. Like, I'll talk to some of the DBs. I'll talk to Josh Proctor or Cam Brown or all the other DBs in the room. And we're like, like, Zach, I just need so-and-so seconds. And I'm like, bet I can get you that if you give me one extra step on the coverage. And that's just, once I feel like as a defense, once we're open and we're tight together like that, then like nobody can do anything against us.
When you look back at last season's pass rush, how did you guys feel about it as a unit, as a defensive line?
We definitely got a lot of pressure. But one thing Coach Jay has challenged us to is turning those pressures into sacks. Because pressure is only that. Pressure, quarterback gets the ball out for it. It's a sack and it's drives. Like at the end of the quarter and a half and a game. That's something that we've definitely worked on.
What's he doing right now to get you from there to the point where you get those sacks and set a precedent?
I mean, Coach Jay's a genius when it comes to that stuff. So he's got drills cooked up for us, how to figure out how to get that last little bend, or trying to find out ways we can get that extra step or reduce extra movement, things like that.
What's the most important thing for you personally to improve that pass rush and become that guy I know you want to be off the edge?
Hands can be better, hand placement, bend around the edge. Really, I just like if I improve a little bit in every area, that's a lot of improvement.
Yes, there's COVID, yes, there's problems, things happen. How fair was it?
We definitely had some games where we didn't play the greatest, and we definitely didn't play as well as a lot of us wanted to play. So that's something that we have a chip on our shoulder this year that we know we got to go prove ourselves. I'm excited. I'm really excited for our defense this year.
Zach, can you actually feel the difference, even physically, probably mentally, about getting a full spring, getting a full off-season camp, et cetera, which you guys didn't get to do last year after the COVID thing? How much of a difference has that made, do you feel, for the football team, for you personally, and for the team?
Yeah, spring ball definitely helps. Everybody gets better. Spring ball is about individual improvement, whereas camp's about team improvement. So you get what 2 months rough practice just to improve your skills and fine tune yourself as a player. That definitely helps everybody in her position.
With the college football playoff expanding, you guys are going to have just more games on the schedule if you go deeper into it. What do you think about the idea of playing? You could play like an NFL season. Do you look at that as preparation for the next level, or is that too many?
To be honest, I haven't really thought about it that much. Well, whatever the schedule is, we're going to go try to win every single game on it. So that's not really something that we're worried about. We're just focused on winning the games and getting better.
How did high school look this summer? Obviously, we can see it in the spring.
High school looked good. I like the way high school is moving. I like the way, I like his mindset, his intensity. High school's going to be another key player for us this year.
What did that mean for you guys when you decided to come back? Did you expect it?
I thought high school was going to come back. I think, not only on the field, but as a leadership standpoint, he's a fifth-year senior. He's been in he knows the Rushman culture better than almost anybody in the D lineman. He's been there from almost the start to where it is now, and having that veteran voice in the room really helps.
You guys have a handful of the super seniors, the guys who were seniors last year and took that extra year from COVID. What has that meant for just leadership or team chemistry or all those sort of like intangible things?
The leadership aspect is probably the biggest one. Having guys who just have been around, they've seen a bunch of things. They're not fazed by anything, and they're guys I can lean on. Being a junior, I'm not a young guy, but I'm also not an old head. So I still have times where I need to lean on somebody, and that's where guys like Antoine and Haskell come in, and guys like Jerron Cage, where I can go talk to them and be like, yo, this is going on, and they can give me advice because they've been through the same thing I have.
Jack, I just walked over here from. Oh, I'm sorry. I just walked over here, but you've probably been asked this 10 times already. But Jack Sawyer sitting there. He went through the spring. JT has come in. What do you see that's special about those guys? You were a 5-star. A lot of expectations foisted on you. But
the biggest thing for them that they got going for them right now is they love to work. It's hard to coach somebody who's lazy, and that's one thing Coach Jay hates. And that's not doing those guys. Those guys love. JT's in the weight room 15 minutes early, stretching out foam rolling. I'm like, that's, for a guy who just got here, that's huge. And Jack's one of those guys who just loves to work. Jack's been my partner one day, and I'm like, I'm gonna get after Jack today, and Jack just keeps coming back for more. Like I'm ready. I want to get better. I want to work. And so that's something I can appreciate from both those two young guys.
How is that going to enhance practice over the next 4 weeks as you guys get ready? Having all of you guys, you all want to be on the field, right?
It's just friendly competition. Like those are my guys. Like the whole D lineman, I feel like they're like my brothers. So you compete against your brothers, Like I'm on the field, I'm doing this, that, and the third, and so on the sideline, someone's like, all right, now it's my turn to go, make plays, and then when we don't, it's not like, oh, like I'm better than you. It's how do I help him improve? Because I know him being better is only going to make me better and go harder, go that much harder.
Who gave you the best pointers, et cetera, when you were a freshman? Who did you lean on a little bit for advice? And you find yourself willingly giving that advice now to these young guys?
Yeah, it's really, that's the culture of the D-line room. That's what you do as an old guy. You help the young guys. As a young guy, you listen to the old guys. When I was a freshman, there was one with Devon Hamilton, BB, and Jay Sean Cornell, and obviously Chase, and guys like Coop, somebody who I still talk to every day. I called Coop, like 2-3 weeks ago, just to talk to him, chop it up with him. Guys like that who really just helped me as a player on and off the field, how to deal with all the outside the media and how to deal with the pressures of playing at Ohio State, this big program, and that's something I feel like they gave me that information. So now it's only right for me to pass it down to JT, Jack, Tyleek, and Mike, and all those younger guys who were coming in.
And one thing, you're a psychology major, right?
I used to be. I changed it to criminology.
Criminology? Getting into the criminal mind now. But how has that helped you? Because obviously those are interesting classes. Even 101's an interesting, moving on up and stuff. How has that helped you as a football player, do you think, or to be able to relate to other guys, et cetera?
It's definitely helped in my leadership style, I feel like, because I feel like to be a good leader, you can't. Coach Day always describes it as golfing. There's different golf clubs for different situations. You can't hit a driver every single time, or you're never going to win a golf game. So that's something that I take pride in being able to change up my style. Some guys can take it. I can get on some guys really and really be like, yo, like tighten up. And some guys you got to take it to the side and have you sit down and really talk, like, yo, what's going on? Like, why isn't this going on? That's something I feel like that's my strongest ability as a leader, is to be able to change my leadership style depending on who I'm talking to.
Yeah, be able to read people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Last thing, Larry Johnson. If you had to put it in a nutshell, I know you get asked about him a lot and stuff, but what is the best attribute he brings to the room every day?
His attention to detail. You know, he's watching film different than anybody I've ever seen watch film. He's breaking down frame by frame, trying to figure out how do I make Zach Harrison 1 inch better? How do I make Tyreek Smith 1 inch better? How do I make Javonte Jean-Baptiste 1 step better? You know, so. And that's something that we feed off of too. So now when I watch film, I'm not just watching the play through. I'm watching every single movement that I make to figure out how I can get better, how I can reduce the unneeded movements, and that's all seconds. And in football, seconds and inches matter.
That sounds like that Al Pacino pregame speech in Any Given Sunday or whatever it was. And he was talking about the inches add up.
I've never. That's a
Never
movie.
seen it? Yeah.
I've never seen it.
It's pretty good. You've seen it, haven't you?
I'm not concerned at all. You know, I have great confidence in whoever Coach Walsh rolls out there on the first game. We got a bunch of guys, whether it's experienced guys like Dallas or older guys like Dallas Gant, Raja Mitchell. Those guys I feel confident in, and then some of the younger guys that haven't played as much, whether it's Cody Simon or Kevon Pope or Tommy Eichenberg. All those guys I feel more than confident with them being behind me and them being the play callers of the defense.
Secondary took a lot of heat last year. Coach Day just said this year's secondary is going to be deeper than what he's seen the last few years. What have you seen out of them so far, and just kind of your confidence in how the secondary is going to look this year?
They had a really good spring, so I'm excited about our secondary. And as you said, they might not have played up to their standard last year, but they know that, so they're coming back just as hungry, and they want to prove everybody wrong. They got a chip on their shoulder, just like the whole rest of the defense does.
I mean, how much dialogue do you guys have with them? Just because you guys seem so intertwined. Like, obviously, if you guys get to the quarterback faster, that's going to help them. If you guys aren't getting to the quarterback, that's not going to help them. I mean, how much of those discussions do you guys have?
I mean, it's daily, you know, and we know that we make each other better. So whether it's in the weight room or doing sprints, I feel like because we're so close, I can call out one of the DBs like, hey, like, jog faster, or hey, lift harder. But they can do the same to us. Like, if I'm not lifting hard, I can trust the 7 banks to be like, yo, Zach, bro, go harder. You're not doing good enough. And that's the relationship that we have between the whole defense, really.
What teammate has had the most impact on becoming better?
I can probably think of, you talking about like when I was younger? Probably Jonathan Cooper. You know, he's a guy who's really like a big brother to me. Like I told you, I'll reach out to him, talk about not football at all, just talk about life, talk about how I'm gonna do what he's doing. He's one of those guys who really helped me out. He really, a lot of the D-line, the younger D-line, he's helped out a lot. And you know, he's always helping us coach us up, and especially on the leadership side, I've talked to him about like, yo, Coop, like how do I approach this as a leader? How do I not come off as this type of leader? How do I do this, that, and the third? His phone's always on. He always answers my calls whenever I reach out to him.
What's like a specific time you needed his help?
I mean, really last year he played a huge role in the D-line. Like the COVID year, it was stressful for a lot of guys. You know, we only saw each other for the entire season, and that's unique. And we got super close, and you know, whenever something would happen or whatever, you know, we'd feel some type of way. Coop be the guys like, nah, y'all good. Like we're good. Like we can get through this. We're gonna get through this. We're gonna be straight. Like, and that's somebody that we all leaned on as a unit.
You mean like when somebody would test positive and not be able to play?
It's all the above. Any situation you can think of, guys leaned on Coop for that.
Sometimes it's like a guy's natural personality to take those sorts of things, and other guys don't have that.
Yeah.
But now are you getting to a stage in your career where you feel like, I have to go get some of that. I have to be a little bit like Jonathan Cooper.
I'm definitely taking some of his tools and what he did. I'm trying to implement that into myself. I'm trying to, you know, be a guy that guys can lean on if they need to. But at the same time, I'm not Coop. I'm Zach. So I gotta lead the way Zach leads.
You talk about, I know film studies is a big component of your game. You like winning, the whole week and finding things, on Tuesday or Wednesday that can really, make an impact in the game. How satisfying is it when you see something that you can execute on?
It's the best feeling. Like if you watch film study and you're like, all right, this play means this, and you read it right and you're able to make a play because you know it's coming. That's like bet. Like all the hard work pays off in this moment.
You guys are playing a bunch of opponents this year that have strong edge rushers, starting with Minnesota, Oregon, Michigan, like just several guys that have, expected the NFL draft as edge rushers. What is it like going into the season knowing you got money against
It's a great feeling. It's a great feeling because Thayer and Nick are both elite tackles. I feel like they're both going to be high NFL draft picks. So it's like at least whoever's back there at the helm of the offense is going to be upright because they got two of the best O-linemen in the country.
First game I remember last year, that Penn State game, we thought those ends caught you guys in trouble.
There's not really much you can do.
What did the team take away from that? You know what I'm saying? Like, did the confidence kind of even rise a little bit after that?
I mean, it's funny because we were sitting on the sideline like, dang, like Thayer and Nick really locking up right now. Like they're really in their bag, like they're doing their thing, and that's something I think they did the rest of the season, and they've continued in the spring ball and never be in the camp, and then in the next season they're just great ball players, super competitive guys, technicians. They're both crazy athletic, they're both crazy strong, so I feel confident in our tackles.
Personal goals or even team goals that you do want to achieve by the end of the year, like is there anything specific that you do personally?
I mean, my only goals are, be the team of North 1, win the Big Ten championship 2, and then win all the games after that. I kind of realized if you get caught up in numbers and try to get this many stats and this many sacks and this many TFLs, it kind of messes with your head because football never goes the way you expect it to. So I'm just trying to go out there and win all my one-on-ones and play the best ball that I know I can play, and all that will take care of itself.
I know you touched on improvement a lot, so is that just basically what you want to do with this whole year, and then by the end of the season,
Yeah, just
the team too, or just yourself?
Yeah, the team. Like you obviously want to improve the team. You don't want to be stagnant. You want to see guys, more guys making plays, more guys getting comfortable being on the field and being in certain situations.
Do you think camp is going to really help improve that improvement too?
I think so. I think that we're going to have a really competitive camp because on both sides of the ball we have some dogs. Some guys are going to get after it, and some guys are going to make plays on both sides, and that only makes us better. Iron sharpens iron is our motto. Yep.
Seb Schroeder still coaching you?
Yeah.
He's from my hometown.
Really? Yeah. You know Coach Schroeder?
Yeah, he grew up in my
That's my
hometown.
guy. Yeah.
I talked to him about you when you were being recruited, as a matter of fact.
Yeah. I actually just saw him recently. We had a little get together with some of the old Orange guys, and he was there. It was good chopping it up with him.
Yeah, he is. He's a good guy. Yeah.
I mean, in some ways, it's big likes to tell the story about an affirmation of kind of the hard work that I've done, but at the same time, it's not the end all be all. We like to say our leadership or talk works now. You're here, so at this point, something changed. Just a recruiting process. You're comfortable.
I mean, yeah, it's funny because Coach Mick always like, yeah, I didn't like you at first, Zach. I didn't want you to come here. I'm like, dang, Coach Mick, thanks. But now, I feel like, one, I wasn't a fan of recruiting. One thing about me is I'm a very reserved guy. Like I like around my friends and my family, I'm laughing, joking, all that and third, but around people who I don't know, I'm not, be as much out there, and that's something that I've grown into as I've gotten more comfortable at Ohio State. As all the players have become my brothers and all the coaches have become family, I feel like I can really just be myself, and that's who Zach is. Zach's a leader, Zach's vocal, Zach's funny. I'm cracking jokes all the time, doing my own thing. That's something that I've grown into.
So when you're sitting there right now, comfortable there? Still not like this part of it?
No, I mean, definitely not. I'm not a big I've never really been in the answering questions a lot, but I know it's necessary, and y'all are asking some pretty good questions, so I'm cool with it.
So you're saying you don't want a job like us when you get there?
No, not a chance. Not a chance.
Then you can put somebody else on the spot.
Not a chance. There's no chance.
You kind of like alluded to this maybe. You know, I think we can be really good because the last couple of years, last year people said we're gonna have problems get out of the comfort zone. People say that this year. Maybe that's just being yourself. Fellas, I'm pretty sure we have a lot of guys that feel like selfless, and ready to speed.
I definitely feel more comfortable. That's probably the biggest thing. I feel more comfortable, you know, walking into the Woody every day. I feel like all right. Like,
yeah, of course. I mean,
like I know what I'm doing. Like, I know the goals. I know what I have to do to reach my goals. Like I'm not trying to figure things out anymore.
Tempo. It's sometimes hard for young guys. Now it's your turn. I've seen it every day together. Tyler's there. A lot of young guys. You're here, so you got to be with those guys.
It's not even so much that. It's just I really can't put a finger on it. I just feel more comfortable. I feel more just ready to play ball. That's what I'm focused on, just playing ball.
I'm not sure if you touched on it earlier, but do you have any opportunities with NIL coming up, like in the future, or even like recently, if you have like?
Yeah, I've got a couple things in the works. They're not finalized yet, so I don't really want to speak on them too much. But you know, things are coming that I'm excited about.
Zach, that's great for you guys to be able to get something because you know you guys give up a lot.
Yeah, it's a blessing, you know, to finally be able to capitalize off the hard work that we've put in for so long, and to be the ones to pioneer it. You know, we gotta do it the right way, so the future generations have the blueprint on how to really go about marketing themselves and becoming their own brand and really taking advantage of the platform that they're given in a new way.
Zach, you guys, if you were, I just thought about last year, you guys did so much in such a quick time because late October, and then you guys go all the way to the championship game. That's just unreal.
Yeah. I give props to Coach Day. You know what he did with the team and how he had us motivated, how he had us playing with this circumstances that our season got canceled twice. People don't realize that. Like we had a season 2 times during the season. You know, we got a bunch of games canceled. You know, there was talk about not pushing the playoffs. We didn't play enough games, and that's just kudos to Coach Day really for getting us motivated and being authentic through the whole thing. He wasn't one of those guys who was just faking it, rah rah rah. He was there with us. He was telling us like, yeah, I don't know, but I just need y'all to keep going. Like I get it. It sucks sometimes, and not the uncertainty of it. And that's something that I respect about Coach Day. Coach Day. He's always so genuine. He's real with us. He doesn't always act like he's above us. He always acts like he's almost one of us sometimes. You know.
And also, how was that? Because you guys took really hard to do anything because all the protocols.
Yeah, it was unique. It was a ton of challenges. Like we couldn't. Like a lot of guys hadn't seen their families their whole season. And that's hard to do because like after games, you know, it's tradition to go out to dinner with your family and chop it up. You know, celebrate the game, celebrate the win. We didn't have that after the game. We'd come back to the locker room and we really weren't supposed to see each other. We could just go back to our rooms and just sit there by ourselves. But like we definitely got around each other, and that's how we got so close. Like I always say that the 2020 Ohio State Buckeyes is the closest team by far I've ever been on. Like, all those boys are really my family.
Hey guys, we're good for one more, and then we got to move.
How are you handling NIL?
Definitely being cautious. I am excited about it, but I feel like it's something that you don't just want to jump into without having all your things aligned, your things in order. You don't just want to run into things because that's how you get in trouble. That's how you get caught up. So I want to make sure I have all the information that I need, and I have all the people who I need to support me to be able to make those decisions in line before I really jump into anything big. There's a few things in the works, but it's not finalized, so I don't want to speak on it too much.
Thanks everybody. We gotta move on to TV.